Just ready. And at that point, that will.
Go back and go back. Yeah, that would make sense.
But
Here,
that would be
going.
going that new application.
You ready?
Yeah, so.
We're going to call this meeting to order on the date of March 29th, 2023. I'll review the minutes from March 15th, 2023, and those minutes stand approved. Our second item is consideration and action on final approval of the Buffalo Run Subdivision Phase 1, 5 lots located at 2400 South, 4700 West. And Mr. Lleverino, you're going to be presenting that.
Yes, that's
Okay.
right. Thank you. And so this is a part of a larger subdivision. This is phase 1. And what they're looking to do is flat 5 lots. They've gone back and forth several times, and the developer, Mr. Jim Marziel, he decided at this time it's best for him to plat just 5 lots. And in doing this, it would actually ease the expense for development on him, and also allow him to start some improvements that basically only apply to this phase 1 5 lot subdivision. And what we looked at in this particular proposal was the creation of new road. And so there's some improvements that will be going in on 4700 West Street. Those improvements are recommended to be installed or escrowed for, and that's a recommendation that came from the planning commission. But they're also building a new road, and that new road is going to provide them frontage too. They've already worked through with engineering to get the civil plans reviewed and approved, and they've actually started construction of that new road. And the appropriate right-of-way dedication is already been acquired. In this case, what we're looking at is the culinary water supplier, Taylor West Weaver Water, and they've given their final approval letter.
Did they have the condition on there that they will not provide secondary water?
Yes, and so the irrigation water is provided by Hooper Irrigation.
Okay.
And the owner has been working with Hooper to get those fees paid. And Hooper has actually given final approval on this proposal.
Oh, okay.
And sewer services in this particular spot is Central Weaver Sewer.
Okay.
And looking at review agency comments, the county surveyor's office is ready to review this latest version of phase 1.
Okay.
As long as the owner pays an extra review fee. But they pretty much already used up all the reviews for the surveyors.
Oh, okay.
Because they some negotiations back and forth, but
How many reviews is that? Just for
I
my-
think it's 3. They
Oh, wow.
put a cap. The first 2
Okay.
are included, but once they exceed that.
We had to do the same thing.
It happens.
But and it's been made clear to the developer that any further changes is likely just going to require that he pay the full subdivision review fees and create a new project in Frontier.
Okay.
Just because the amount of changes that have taken place.
Yeah, this has been going on for a while.
But staff felt it's a good time to get this before an administrative review meeting, and staff recommends approval for this phase 1 5 lot development based on the conditions in the report. And
Okay.
questions on that?
I don't. Pretty straightforward. I'm going to recommend approval of this subject to the conditions and findings that are outlined in the report. Thank you. Next item is consideration and action on request for final approval of the Hansen subdivision, a single lot subdivision, and Mr. Lleverino, you'll be doing that one as well.
Yes. And so Mr. Dave Maxon is the owner of this land. He purchased this property back in like 1989. and is with the intention of, of subdividing it further. But recent discussions with the owner, it turns out that the zoning changed. And so when he purchased the property, it was 1 acre zoning. Now the zoning is 3 acre zoning.
Hmm.
So unfortunately, we told him that he can't subdivide it, but he can plat it in its current configuration. And so that's really the final step he needs to take in order to make this a building lot. And we made it clear to him that there's also going to be some hurdles related to once it comes to get the building permit, because we're dealing with some slopes on this property. And so he's acquired a natural hazard, a geologic reconnaissance and geotechnical study from CMT Laboratories. I'm sorry, CMT Technical Services. In that study, it lays out some of the hazards that are present and also mitigation measures. They also detail the best location for construction. And so what I required that they include a note on the plat indicating that that this property is within a geologic study area and that a report is available for review. And that's something that the code does require. The services in this area are, you've got Lakeview Water Corporation, and they're the providers for culinary water. And then you have Mountain Sewer. And both of those services are included in the same letter, and that's one of the exhibits in this report. Moving on to staff's recommendation is that staff recommend final approval of Hansen Subdivision consisting of one lot based on the condition that all the county review agency requirements are satisfied. In this case, he'll be working through the fire district. The fire district mentioned that they're going to complete a more thorough review upon building permit.
Okay.
And the surveyor is currently working on the final review for this. Engineering's comments are pretty straightforward and it's anticipated they can easily be addressed. And that concludes what I have to say about this one.
Okay. So you'd mentioned that we need to have a note on the plat to address the geologic or natural hazard areas.
Yes.
Should we make that a condition? I don't see that in here.
You know what? That's a good point, because I believe they've already added it. They
Oh, they've
submitted
done
a,
that. Okay.
yeah, and in their notes, they do make reference to that.
Oh, okay. So that's why it's not in the conditions. Perfect. Okay. Well, if it's in the notes, then and that is too small to read. So I trust you on that one. So, okay, so I'll recommend approval of this subject to condition number 1 and the findings outlined in the staff report. So thank you, Felix. And next item is consideration and action on a 2-lot subdivision. Celeste Hadley. Is it amendment?
Ashment.
Ashment. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Subdivision. Okay, I wasn't sure. Okay. Located at approximately 3989 West, 900 South. And Tammy, you're going to be presenting this one?
Yeah. This proposal is a 2-lot subdivision in the A1 zone, located right along 900 South at approximately 3989 West, 900 South. Total project area is about 7.55 acres, and the current use is ag/residential. Owners looking to just really realign their parcels. They've got 2 parcels, one on the north and one on the south. They're looking to realign that lot boundary so you have an east-west parcel instead of the north-south.
Oh, okay.
The county isn't requiring any additional roadway other than a few feet. And by that, I mean 3 feet of additional dedication along 900 South.
Okay.
Taylor West Weaver Water will be servicing this, and the only reason why we didn't require a final approval letter is the water line already runs along the applicant's frontage. They just have to tie in a lateral to it. Same with Central Weaver Sewer. So they'll be doing water and sewer for this. We are requesting that the Taylor West Weaver Water District sign the final plat, as they have requested to do that.
Okay.
Planning doesn't see any issues, and so we would recommend approval subject to that single condition and based on the findings.
Okay, all right. I don't see any issues with this one either, so I recommend approval subject to the conditions and findings outlined in the staff report. This one going. And last but not least, consideration and action on a request of final approval of the Warren Estates Subdivision consisting of 3 lots. Tammy, you have this one as well?
Yeah, I want to call your attention to a couple of things in the staff report. One is the administrative date. The agenda date was erroneously included as the last time this was on an agenda.
Oh, okay.
So I've adjusted that in the staff report. I've re-uploaded it to Frontier. So we'll have that on record. I'll go through this and then I'll go through the conditions of approval. There will be a change in there as well from planning staff. So this is a request for final approval of Warren Estates Subdivision consisting of 3 lots. This is located in the A2 zone, immediately south of the Fenster Farms development.
Yes.
Project area is approximately 10 acres. There are 2 areas, 2 roadways where this project will be accessed actually. One of them is directly off of 5500 West is where lot 1 will be accessed. And there is proposed road dedication along there per requirements from engineering.
Okay.
Bear with me here. Let me pull up the project. And then the other access will be off of 5350 West through Fenster Farms.
Okay.
And that will access lots 2 and 3. So while this looks like a flag lot configuration, planning staff is not considering this a flag lot where access to lot 3 will not be off of 5500 West. I want to make sure that that's on the record and that's clear.
Okay.
Let's see here. West Warren Water Improvement District. I never get that right, by the way.
It's a mouthful.
They've issued preliminary approval for culinary water, and Mountain View Irrigation rather has issued a final will serve. So we'll require a final will serve letter from West Warren Water Improvement District prior to recording the final plat.
Okay.
On-site septic systems will be servicing the wastewater for all 3 of these lots, and we will be recording covenants with the final plat that indicates that.
Okay.
This property sits right along a Weaver County owned canal area. And I mention that because initially when this project kind of came through for preliminary approval that showed additional lots, a no climb fence was required. Where we're not looking at an access along that southern boundary, planning staff would recommend final approval based on conditions 1 through 3 listed in the staff report based on the findings outlined. So we would ask that the no climb fence requirement be removed. Now, county engineering still wants to require that. They can do that. And we feel like that's covered when we recommend this subject to all review agency requirements.
That's fair. No, that's great. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Appreciate your patience.
No problem at all.
on this.
Goes 2 ways.
Well, I don't see any issues with this now. You've addressed my concerns from last time. So I'm going to recommend approval of this subject to conditions 1, 2, and 3 and the findings outlined in the staff report. This item stands approved. Well, thank you, and get this thing going for you.
Appreciate it.
You betcha.
So, just so you're aware, since you're kind of here, you let me know the next
Thanks,
steps.
You're welcome.
So get a final approval letter from West Warren. That's what we need.